We never have identical ties except for these
this
ones. When we were in Croatia, we opened the Modern Museum. They built a huge building for modern art, and they wanted us to do the first exhibition. And it was quite extraordinary because it's an ex-communist country, it's a war-torn country. There are still bullet holes in the buildings from the war. There are graffitis that are all political. And they very kindly made a pair of ties for us, based on our picture.
The can picture. They only made these two ones for ourselves because they told us they are the inventors of the tie. No? And not only the tie, they invented the ball pen, they invented the parachute, and they invented James Bond, they told us. No? And they made these two ties for us, and we lost them.
That was the very good example of ex-communist behaviour, because we left the ties in a box on the terrace after dinner. And of course in the morning we went down and said, could we have our ties? And they disappeared, of course, because where people are very poor, they steal anything. Not because they were special ties, just because they were ties. Yeah? So we said, well, could we speak with housekeeping? Housekeeping, we need our ties. No, no, we've never seen them. Yeah? And then we said, could we speak to the night porter? No, no, I've never seen them. And then we had an idea. We said, we went to the manager and we said, yesterday we were presented with two ties by your government. They were shaking. I said, and today we need them for a press conference, for the government. And we said, we leave it with you. We went to our room on the first floor, and as we opened the door, the phone was ringing. Good luck, gentlemen, we have found their cravatas. Extraordinary. So in some countries, if you mention the government, people are shaking. In the West, we couldn't care less. We say two fingers to every government. Yeah.
Even
it's interesting. It's interesting.
We had already, the London picture started in Hong Kong. Then we have 3 ones in London, 3 big ones with all the white cubes. Then we had one in Berlin, one in a group show in Berlin. Then we have one here. Then we're going to New York next week to do 3 shows. Then we are doing one in Brussels, one in Naples, one in Athens. And then we are trying to set up big museum shows. So these are private shows, no? And then, because we are campaigning artists, no? We are going out there like the missionaries, no? Preaching morality. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yes.
I think in Hong Kong, it's the beginning of looking at art. No? They are rich, but they bought a handbag, and maybe now they want the art. No?
It's the beginning of having the idea that they can enjoy similar mental privileges that we have. Yeah? Imagine we can think whatever we like, we can draw whatever we like. Yeah? They would like to enter into that spirit, to become part of that, which is very good.
Even because sometimes in Europe they are a little blasé about everything. No? They've seen it all before, no? So many times. It just is a beginning, no? But the biggest public we always have in London, that's massive. Like in 2 weeks we had, in 20 days, we had 15,000 people in a private gallery. Without a guitar. No, I mean, it's because we were able to cultivate this amazing art for all idea in England, no? That everybody can see something in our art that's managed to speak to the viewer in such extraordinary political, sexual, and what you call, asking the right questions. There are no collectors in England.
That's a quite a different field.
There are no collectors in England, except foreign people who live there.
North America,
Italy, Belgium.
It shifts.
And shifts. And France as well. In England as well. Foreign collectors they are there. We always sold our pictures. They are not so expensive. That's very important. They have to be democratic. Huh? We know that in the end rich people buy art. No? We cannot change that. We accept that. Because before that, the church was rich, so they what they call, they
ordered the artist, told the artist what to do.
The problem is that we are always nervous what the collectors do with our art. So we never want to go near that.
We're very keen to have them seen in public spaces, but we never have that, very rarely have that possibility. I doubt that there's one picture of ours in a public institution in France at the moment. It's extraordinary. Even in London, it's very rarely that we have a picture up at Tate Modern. Very, very rarely.
I don't know why, but that's why we are always trying to do big museum shows. Like 2 years ago, we did these pictures called the Jack Freak pictures, and we took them to 6 museums, and that's very satisfying. Then we go to Malaga, we go to Croatia, you go to what's called Gdansk, you go to Linz, you go to Brussels and Hamburg, and we are able to confront this new public with our pictures, and they work.
We need the collectors. That's part of the Western system.
But it's very interesting because our art, we are making it ourselves. So we don't have to pay a lot of assistance. We only have one person helping us.
We're quite free in that way. Yeah?
Very free.
We only need enough money to continue. We live very, very modestly. More modestly than anyone else we knew, probably.
We know that we could be artists in prison.
We never accepted one commission, ever.
Never. We never do that.
When we go to the studio, we don't know what's in our head. We don't plan, we don't have ideas. So why should we go with somebody else's ideas in our head? That would be the end of everything. Yeah.
Because we feel it's like a dream that is in front of us, like some cloud that we are trying to reach. And we find new ways of making our art. Like recently we tried to make it more like kind of automatic, that it makes itself, that we don't have to be too artistic about making art. We are very against artisticness ourselves. So we would like the art to make itself.
These pictures, the London pictures, more than any others, told us that they were ready to be made.
Because we
instructed us, yeah.
We found a system how to make them.
We said the posters are always black and white, so we accept that. We want to accentuate the key word in dies, death, sex, life. So we have red for accentuating. And the only other colour which permeates the whole of the pictures, which is the human presence. So we added flesh. And then we didn't have to think of other colours creating them.
And even a human, what they call the presence of us is like a dream-like image, that is like a ghost of the city in some way. It's not a perfect image, it feels like it's coming in and out. It is evaporating in and out. And it's more like kind of journalistic image.
Fears. Somebody asked us that this morning, I thought we were replying. We said we only feared to wake up one day and find out that it was all a dream. That would be a disaster. We think more and more that, like when somebody is attracted sexually or romantically to another person, that it affects everything else. That the breakfast is different, the view to the garden is different, the weather seems to have improved. And we think that when we're creating pictures, we're in an exalted, different level. We feel crazed and drugged and very happy and very privileged. It is living a different life. Yeah.
Even because we realize it's only through the brain we see it all, no? Everybody sees a different story, the same image, changes from person to person. It's not perfect, no? It's all like dream-like. What kind of thoughts we have, how unhappy we are or happy. In that moment, the image changes, no?
I think our dream, day by day, we have it. Two weeks ago, a huge lorry carrying a big piece of machinery to the docks. And the middle-aged lorry driver looked out the window and said, "Oi, my life's a fucking moment. Your art's an eternity." It's extraordinary. What else do you want? Very moving. Extraordinary.